What's up, everybody? It's your boy Meme here. It is 9:50 a.m. 9:50 p.m. Sorry, it wouldn't be this dark unless it was the winter at 9:50 a.m. I'm joking. I'm not in Sweden, right? I don't know what Sweden's time patterns are, right? But yeah, I woke up this morning at 9:50 a.m. That's not true. I woke up this morning at 8:50 a.m. I actually have no idea when I woke up. Hold on. That's a bad sign. Okay, I woke up at 9 a.m. And I didn't exercise today. I'm not planning to exercise this week. I know there's never an excuse to not exercise. I was just watching a video today on Twitter. Do you see that? That's really weird. Like, one half of my face keeps getting illuminated and then it cuts out. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a camera thing or what. I just saw a video on Twitter today about how it was like all these guys that would walk up to these like ripped guys in the gym, right? And they'd be like, how much do you work per week? And all of them were saying like 40 to 60 hours a week, and they're still in the gym and they're still exercising and they're jacked too, and they do a lot of work. And I'm not really looking to get jacked. I'm not. That's not how I want to look. But it is accurate that you can do a lot of work and you can lock in and you can also exercise. You should never have to. If you're really sure, you could say you're locking in if you're like really focused on your work and you're not really sleeping, but like if you're really locked in, you should be able to have a good sleep schedule and exercise regularly. And those people are even more locked in than the people who are sacrificing everything for work. Because if you have a good sleep schedule and you exercise regularly, that time you spend working is probably going to be more productive than if you hadn't exercised and if you hadn't slept properly. But I'm not following my advice. I'm going to sleep at weird times. I'm going to sleep like way later than I normally do, and I'm exercising. I'm not exercising, and it's degenerative. But something I do think is the case is in the morning when I exercise, it's definitely a lot of dopamine. It's like dopamine overload, right? I've been pretty consistently walking on the treadmill for like 4 years now. And the thing I always do is I watch YouTube, usually on a tablet, and I've been watching it on the TV we have downstairs. And it's sort of a lot of dopamine, right? I've been walking so long to where I can walk at pretty high speeds and a pretty steep incline, and I burn a lot of calories, but even then, it's still kind of easy. I'm not running because I don't know what's it called? I have cholinergic urticaria. I have cholinergic urticaria, which is essentially I'm allergic to my own sweat. When my body temperature rises and I begin to sweat, my body gets all red, it gets covered in hives, and it's really disgusting, and my body gets really itchy, which is bad because I also have eczema. I have some pretty bad skin issues, right? So I can't really do some super intense exercise, and I'd love to, but I'm not really able to do that just because I have some skin conditions, right? And so, because of that, I do walk. I exercise as intensely as I can without super heavily sweating. I have lots of fans pointing at me while I'm exercising. And what's the point of that? Oh yeah, so the thing is that I can't really something I have noticed when I have ran, and this is what people describe as runner's high, is you sort of get into your own head, right? It sort of becomes you get super tunnel visioned, and you everything kind of goes in slow motion, and it feels like your brain's at 150% power, and it's really an astonishing feeling. But the thing is that only really happens under while doing intense exercise. And so, because I'm not doing intense exercise, I'm almost always very focused on what I'm doing, like what's in front of me on YouTube, right? I'm almost always very focused on what's happening in front of me on YouTube, right? And so, the thing is I'm watching on 1.75x speed, and I'm walking on the treadmill, and it's really loud, right? I have the air filter on, and I have the fan on, and I have all these things on. I have noise canceling headphones, so it cancels out all the noise, but it's very noisy. The treadmill's making a lot of noise. I'm watching YouTube, and it like fries my dopamine receptors. It's like they're sizzling every morning, right? And so I get up upstairs, and then it's silent, and it's like oh, that's a little scary, right? So in the past, the thing I would do is I would just transition that sort of baseline dopamine feed from the treadmill to my phone. So I would just like also be listening to stuff on my phone, whether it be podcasts or more YouTube videos. I kind of stopped the YouTube habit. I don't have the YouTube app on my phone anymore. Sometimes I access it through the website because I have YouTube Premium and I want to get my money's worth. But I don't have the YouTube app on my phone anymore because I noticed a lot of my time was spent looking for like the right YouTube video to listen to while I do chores, like making my bed, which I still have to do, instead of like actually doing the things I needed to do. So nowadays I just usually listen to music, or I listen to a video that I downloaded on my computer and I moved to my phone, which is also like a good way to sort of prevent that sort of phenomenon. What else? Oh yeah, so the reason why I'm not exercising, and again, this is wrong. This is not true, right? But I think the reason why I think it makes sense for me to not exercise is so then I can what? The reason I don't exercise is to set my baseline level of dopamine at a very low point at the beginning of the day. Because if I don't spend all this time in the morning, like upwards of 2 hours, like watching YouTube at a really fast speed and walking and having all this noise, then, which sets my baseline at a pretty high level, right? Which is why I always have to be listening to things, at least on my computer, instead, whether it be brown noise or YouTube or what. Instead, I wake up and it's silent, and I do my thing and it's silent, and I think I can focus harder. I think that's wrong because I get distracted just as easily. I think I'm under the impression it does like sort of a short-term like dopamine detox type thing, when really, if you really want to do like a dopamine detox thing, which the science on that is iffy, by the way, but if you really want to do that, it's more of a long-term type thing, and I can't do it by just not exercising one morning. So I really don't think it's doing anything, but what I do think it's definitely doing is the fact that I'm not exercising and the fact that I'm going to bed later changes something in my brain that says that something is different, and that the thing that is different is that I need to get a lot of schoolwork done, and that's what I've been doing. That's not true. I completed one paper today, but it's the vibe, man. And it's also only Monday, but I gotta get my stuff done. I had planned to get all of my history work done today, but I'm going to start on my technical work tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing quite a lot of it because I need to pass my class, and to graduate because this is my last quarter. The reason that happens is because I set it so then my automatic screenshots, it sets my wallpaper black every time it takes an automatic screenshot, so then it doesn't take up as much space, the screenshot. Anyway, yeah, so I did some schoolwork today. This morning I had some steak and a banana and a yogurt and some cheese. And for dinner we had a plowman's lunch, essentially a charcuterie plate. Check it out. It's a woman covered in blood. It's from, I just got the 4K Blu-ray for The Zone of Interest, which is a movie about the Holocaust. I don't know anything about it. I was watching Runquist, something Runquist video. Hold on. Karsten Runquist. Yeah, this video. I was watching modern films that will be classics, and he talked about the zone of interest. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said it was like a Holocaust movie and also a movie that he thinks people are going to be talking about for a long time. And I was like, it's kind of bad to say you like Holocaust movies, but you know exactly what I'm saying when I, like, just don't take that in bad faith. You know exactly what I'm saying. I like Holocaust movies, right? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Then I looked it up, and I saw someone say, you shouldn't look up anything about this movie. Like, you should go in blind. And I was like, okay. I know what the plot, like, what the very basic plot is. I got the movie, I turned it around, I read the plot synopsis, which is like 2 sentences. But that's it. I don't even know, like, I know where they are and what they're doing. You know, that's the only thing I know about the movie. But I'm planning on watching it with my parents. I don't know if it's a weird movie to watch with your parents, but, you know, yeah. So I got the 4K Blu-ray. I was planning on getting it, like, I looked it up on Amazon and it was like $80, and so I had assumed, like, oh, maybe it was like a limited release and that's like the resale price, and Amazon is just reflecting like what some resale price is somewhere. So I looked it up on eBay, it was $40. And I was like, okay, $40 is a lot better. Maybe I can save some money by going on eBay and getting this resale. But then it's just on A24's store. Like, I went to A24 store and they're selling it for $25 new. Like, why was it so expensive on eBay and Amazon? Like, it's so strange, but I totally just got it new from the A24 store, and it's a 4K Blu-ray. And we just got a new OLED TV, so this will sort of break it in. The only thing my parents do is stream media. All they do is stream Netflix and stream fucking Hulu, right? And, nothing but love to my parents. And if that's the only place to access the show or movie, I understand. And my dad used to be like me in this regard, so I think it's just a sort of fatigue thing. But I'm really into physical media, especially around movies. You know, and what's the point in getting a very expensive 4K OLED television if you're not going to, you know, watch a real 4K movies on it? If you're watching a streamed 4K movie, right, that's just as good as 1080p, but what's the point? Like, dude, you see the color banding on the gradients, dude, kill yourself. Like, it's like, I'm not telling my parents to kill themselves. It's a rhetorical suicide request. It's tactical. Okay. Nothing else is really going on.